Hi everyone, I'm here Victoria Quay for the National Soccer Network with Zoe Hasenauer. Hi Zoe.
Hi guys.
Where are you today?
I am in Onse, Denmark, over on the
Onse.
other side of the globe.
Wow, and what time is it?
Let's see. 5:15.
Genius. I love that. Hasenauer. Also when you scored that goal and the commentator was like, Zoe Hasenauer. I loved it. I loved it. First, tell me about what team you play for.
Yeah, I play for OB, Onse Bold Club in Onse, obviously. It's actually called OBQ. That's how they differentiate us from the men's side in Denmark. But yeah, it's awesome. It's
Oh,
in the
okay.
top league in Denmark. It's called the Kvindesliga, I think, and I might be butchering that, so don't quote me.
Bundesliga?
Yeah.
That
It's
actually
like
makes sense.
it's like Kvinde is the name for woman in Danish, so it's
Okay.
women's football league.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
And are you is there like a tier to this? Are you in the first tier, second tier?
Yeah, we're in the top league. Um it goes the Bundesliga and then like Division 1, Division 2. We started in Division 1 when I first came 2 years ago, and then we promoted, and we just had in the fall our first time in the league for I think like 10 years. And we managed to stay above relegation. So now we're in the promotion or playoff league now.
Genius. I love
Yeah.
that. Very well, congratulations. I remember when that happened. That was a really big deal.
Thanks.
After spending your whole career in the US, do you feel like you found a new home in Denmark, or does it still feel like you're a visitor?
I feel like I've found a home in Denmark. I don't think I always felt this way being here. It obviously took a lot of adjustment. I've been here for 2 years, so I've had a long time to make my own routine, find my own group of people, things like that. But I feel like it's really easy to assimilate into the Danish culture because they speak English so much. That's been something that I've noticed being here. All my teammates speak English. Everyone around me speaks English. I haven't really had to learn Danish at all because of that. So for me, that has been helpful in feeling more familiar with everything around me. Obviously, I think that Danish people are a little bit reserved and everything. So that has its own side of things and, um, mixing in with the team and everything. But I'm one of the first Americans that got here, so I have a close relationship with a lot of girls in the team, closer than a lot of the new people that come in since I've stayed for so long. So I do feel like it is really like a home away from home for me. I think obviously the U.S. is always going to be my true home, and that's where I'm from. But obviously, I think I found a little haven over here, which is awesome.
You've made your group of friends. You've formed part of Denmark. You are basically Danish at this point, which leads me to my next question. Have you learned Danish?
I've been trying. I actually can read it and write it really well, but speaking it, no. Especially learning Spanish in high school, where like in Spanish you roll your R's like on the tip of your tongue, and in Danish they don't roll and they do everything in the back of their throat. And that is such like a foreign thing to me to like do with
Yeah.
my mouth. I'm like it. I mean, also even when I first got here, I would try and speak Danish to a lot of my teammates, and they'd be like, "We have no idea what you're saying. Like, literally, just go back to English." Like, they were
They're
like,
like, girl, stop trying.
no,
Stop
yeah,"
trying.
and they're like, "We speak English way better than you're ever gonna speak Danish, so let's just stick to that." I'm like, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Love that. Well,
Yeah,
good. At least you're trying, and I love that. That's good. Good for you.
yeah.
Okay. Now that you've stepped outside of US soccer, how do you see it differently? And what do you appreciate more? And what do you think needs to change in regards to US soccer?
Yeah,
I
I
know it's a
think that
loaded question. Take your time.
no, it's okay. I think that coming away from US soccer has helped my game a lot. I think that in the US it's a lot of stuff based on athletics, how fast you are, how strong you are, which is something that makes US soccer um leaps ahead of a lot of other leagues, and like just overall in international play, that was something that set us apart. We were really strong, we were really fast. Obviously, coming here, I've learned more of the possession side of it, which I really enjoy because that's the style of play that I like to have, being a center mid. I really liked slowing the game down, going more in like phases and stuff, and it being less transition play. I think in the US, like I went to Louisville, Kentucky as a trialist there, and it was so like athleticism based, like how fast are you, how fit are you, and that's something that I think I can compete with, but I really do enjoy like the slow down style of play here, and I think it's more enjoyable to watch as well. I think that's something the US could learn, is to incorporate into our game. I think that internationally, like I said, that was something that set us apart, us being fit and fast. And obviously we just had the World Cup and we had the Olympics and everything, which the Olympics went well, but for the World Cup, like we were knocked out really early, and it's because these other teams are doing these possession style soccer and doing it well, and that's not something that we're really akin to. So I think that's something that we could improve on overall in our system.
I fully agree with you. I mean, from my own personal experience, you know, I feel like when I played college soccer for NCAA, it was a really big priority was fitness. And I feel like I spent most of my time without the ball. And, you know, that sort of strips the love for the game. It can take a little bit from you. And I mean, you played college soccer for the University of Oregon for 4 years. So you know very well like what a fitness test looks like and what preseason looks like. It's not so much, you know, touching the ball. It's this priority with fitness.
I think that mainly what we should look to focus on is I think that's something that makes us great, and we can continue to focus on that, but building in other aspects of the game as well can set you on a higher level. Like you were saying, it does take away a lot from the enjoyment of the game. Like I remember being so scared in college, like going into my fitness test, so anxiety ridden. And here, like, and when I was in college also, it was always like, you're not fit enough, you're not this. And I'm like, I'm running 13K a game. How am I not fit enough? kind of thing.
No, you're the most fit.
Yeah. And now I'm here and we still do fitness tests and everything, but they're more as like a marker as to how we're doing before we enter our season and how much we need to run before. But it's like, I actually feel motivated to do them now because I know that it's just for like my own personal development versus it being like this strict thing. Like you're not at the level that we need you to be at right now. So to me, like that's been really helpful. And also it's motivated me a lot to want to get better at my fitness in the off season and other things. So I think that like, it doesn't ultimately have us have a decline, but it also takes away from other aspects of the game that we could be improving in the US.
Of course. Yeah. Very well said. I very much agree with you. I feel very passionately about that subject. Actually. We can go further on it later. Okay, good. So after so many years of playing the sport at the highest level, what keeps you in love with the game?
I would say just the like unbridled like joy I get from playing and having something go well in the game, like whether that's a good pass, a goal, we win, something like that. I don't think that I get that same type of joy from any other aspect of my life that I feel so naturally when I feel like on a soccer field. Like there's nothing that I can like explain or describe that comes close to that in any other way. And also I think a big part of it is the teammates that I have around me. I think that it can become really mundane, like especially doing it as a job. It's like every single day you're like, I don't want to go do this. It's whatever time in the morning and I'm tired, and I've done this every day for the past 4 months. And I think that like the people around you really, really help you feel excited about what you're doing and can lift a big weight off of you when you feel like you're getting in kind of a repetitive cycle with it.
I mean, there's so many aspects of the game that make us love it. And I think number one for me was definitely the friends that I made and the people that I surrounded myself with, and feeling that sense of accomplishment like as a group, feeling like as a team, we did this. your club soccer career in SoCal. So what was the start for you? How did it start out? And what are some of the teams you played for?
I started playing club when I think I was like 9 or 10. Started at Eagles in Camarillo. And when I started there, we had my first coach, Andrew Montenegro, and he moved over to Real SoCal, which is not Real SoCal anymore. It's now LAFC. But my whole team went with him, went over there. And I continued my club career there for the rest of my time until I was going off to college. But yeah, my club career was something I look back on really fondly. It was some of the best times of my life. I mean, I'm still friends with so many, so many different people that I've met through Real, I'm just like still so close with. And every time I go back home over the summer or the winter when I have my off season, I go train with people from there. And it's just like bonds that is crazy to think started when I was 10 years old and I continued on until I'm 25. So
Yes.
I feel like they're going to be lifelong. And yeah, Real was one of my favorite experiences that I've had. I mean, obviously there's ups and downs in any part of it, but something I look back on really, really fondly.
I was there.
I was part of that.
Yes, Joey and I met when we were 8, and it was beautiful and lovely. And what was it, like a year later? It was like, oh, we're all going around SoCal, and we all went, hey,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep, we're packing our bags. We're
packing
way.
our bags. We're on our way, and we formed this kind of beautiful like mix of people from Real SoCal, and we made this beautiful team, and it was a ton of fun. And I also agree. My club career was definitely like the height of it all. I feel, it was a lot more of the fun aspect and just playing the game for the love of it at the time, because you're not getting paid to do it. There's no scholarship on the line. There's no pay on the line. It's out of your own free will and also your parents' free will.
Yes.
Yeah, and I get reminded of that every single day.
I know.
And what about high school?
I played till freshman to junior year because when I was a senior, they implemented the Women's Academy program, which doesn't exist anymore. So
Does not exist anymore.
Senior year for no reason.
Yeah.
But they thought they were going to do it. So my team was part of that. But yeah, high school was awesome also. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I played with a lot of my friends and we actually did really well. We had one time that we went to the semis of, what is it called? CIF? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, the end of the playoffs or whatever, which was really cool. And I enjoyed playing at Royal a lot. And that was somewhere that both my sisters played. So it was really cool to like play under a program that they had been a part of too. So I really enjoyed it.
I think we played against each other my junior year because when I transferred to Oak Park, that's when I joined, I think, your conference.
Yeah.
And we played against each other like once or twice. I remember that. That was fun. Yeah. It was weird. Yeah. It was really weird.
Yeah, it was so weird playing all the club teammates.
Yeah. And then the next year they were like, oh, you liked high school? Too bad. Let's play soccer all year.
They're like, senior night? Okay. Bye. You don't get a senior night.
You don't get a senior night. I never got a senior night. It was crazy. But you know what? It was like kind of a weird balance because I also feel like that last year was the best year of club that I ever played. I feel like it was the closest I had ever been with my teammates and the closest I had ever felt with my coach and honestly the most success we had. Like we killed it that last year.
We did it really well that last year. Yeah, that senior year was really, really fun. And everybody already knew what like places they were gonna go for college. There was way less stress and involved in it.
Everybody was committed. Like we weren't emailing coaches and then freaking out that we didn't start. It was just like, let's win this game, team. Yeah. It was awesome. It was great. High school was interesting. Club was fun. Now tell me a little bit about University of Oregon.
I loved University of Oregon, the school. I had kind of an up and down relationship with the soccer program. It definitely taught me a lot overall. Like I learned a lot being there. There was a lot of ups and downs. We had 2 different coaching changes. My first 2 years, I mean, overall the program, we didn't do that well. So that was something that I had to learn how to adjust to, because I mean, at Real, like we always were kind of successful. Like we maybe weren't winning everything, but we did get results. And I think at Oregon, it was a big change. Like I had 2 different years that we had like losing records, things like that. And that was like way different for me. I think it was also interesting to come into it and being that like hierarchical thing of the different ages. That was like a big adjustment as well. Because I was kind of a brat in high school. So coming into a program that you're like the bottom of the totem pole,
starting at the bottom,
not
yeah.
a good combination, but obviously you adjust. And I think the biggest thing that was hard was definitely like the coaching changes for me. I think overall I didn't have like the biggest success in coaching that we had there. I think that I really enjoyed the coaches that I had at Real and in my club career. And I think that I came in committed with one coach, and then she left, and then I got a new coach, and that worked for a while. But I mean, overall it was hard because we weren't doing as well in our like program. There was just like times that I lost a lot of confidence and things like that. And I think coming to Denmark really helped me gain my confidence back, because that was something that I had a really hard time with leaving the program. Obviously, I went into the draft after I left the program, and I didn't get drafted. And that was like between what we had with at Oregon and the confidence issues I had there, and then the loss of confidence I had from not getting drafted, like coming here just made me kind of fall in love with playing again and not it being so I don't know, stressful for me to feel like I had to perform. So that was something that I really took from coming here, and I'm really grateful for, because I definitely had my confidence plummet a lot at Oregon, just because of so many factors.
Yeah, and when you have that, that lack of confidence, your love for the game kind of definitely rapidly declines. It's not the same. You're more focused on performing, and you're trying to get results, and it's hard to do that when you don't love what you're doing. So I'm glad that Once kind of reignited that love within you. I think that's really beautiful.
When you think so much about like, oh, I need to get this right, I need to reform, it evades you for even longer. So it's like coming here and like even removing myself from the US soccer world of like, I mean, what we don't talk about a lot is also it's very political. Like it's who you know, it's like how you have connections, and like I'm not really into that. I don't really like doing all that, and I don't like schmoozing and doing all that stuff. So coming here and like removing myself completely from that world was like such a breath of fresh air to be like, nobody knows me. Nobody has any of these like preconceived ideas about me, and this is like I just get to be me, and I get to play how I want to play. And like it really did make me just fall in love with the game.
US, it's like I felt at some point like I had to start going golfing with the guys. Like it was like a whole like a business meeting, and I had to like make certain transactions, and one person was gaining and one person was not. And it was very bureaucratic and political, and I mean there's so much to it, but we also have a lot to thank for it, and I'm thankful for it. I got to play with players like you, so this was great.
It was awesome.
Do you have any advice for anyone who would want to go overseas?
I would say take it. I would say take the opportunity. I think like for me, the biggest thing that I thought of going into it, the US soccer is always going to be there. It's always going to be there for you to be a part of. And I think it's such a great experience to come to another country. You literally get to travel for free, essentially, because you're getting paid to come here. And you get to be immersed into another culture and just broaden your worldview so much. And to do that through something like soccer is amazing. Like it's obviously such a universal language around the world. And I've met some really great friends of mine, literally just coming over here and playing. So I would just say anyone that has an opportunity, I think you should take it. I think it's one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I also had a lot of fun playing. I feel like it was just, very much just for the love of the game. And
it's such a
I
different culture
think,
here too. Like when it comes to
yeah,
like, playing, it's not like I think in the US it's like so like growing up, it's like your whole world, and you're like, this is what I have to do this, and like it's very like there's standards, and like that's an amazing part of US soccer, and that's why we're so good at it. But it's also like
mhm,
coming here and it not being everyone's like waking second. It's like it makes you
yeah,
just have that enjoyment again, which is
yeah.
something I really like.
And I feel like maybe there's this thought that people have that it's not competitive, at certain levels in Europe. Of course, if you're playing, in the Champions League, it's a different story. But uh, there's like this theory that, maybe it's not as competitive, but it's not that it's not competitive. I would say it's as competitive, just competitive in different ways. There's always going to be like, oh, I didn't start and she started. And there's a lot less of that. There's always going to be that, but there's a lot less of
Mhm.
that just because there's not so much writing on your personal gain. It's more
Yeah.
of just like how much can the team as a team achieve. And I think that's beautiful. Good luck with Once this year. And I'm
Thank
so excited to
you.
see where this journey takes you. Thank you for speaking with me today.
Thanks. It was so fun.
Wasn't this so fun?
Yeah, I loved
Okay,
it.
good. Okay, good. Thanks for talking to me.
Bye.